Hello, Diamanda Galás. What an absolute pleasure it is to meet you.
A pleasure as well here.
Funny enough, I actually thought you were from Europe. Don't know what gave me that idea. Then I found out you're from San Diego, and I was like, what?
The reason you might have thought that is because most of my performances have been in Europe, and I've done residency programs in Europe before I imported everything to my own label, Intervenal Sound Operations, or as Mute Records. And I think that in the future we'll do more work together. But in any case, I believe that's why. And also I'm Greek, so I feel an affiliation when I go to Greece and Italy and Spain. It's a very close culturally. There's a lot of support for the arts in Europe. And there's also a better understanding of the subjects I've tackled. Because as H.G. Wells once said to Orson Welles, your work is very interesting, but the difference is that you've never been bombed. We have. And there is something to be said for that, because in a country like this, which is a luxurious country to live in, there's very little hands-on knowledge of the most extreme sort of suffering. There is very little. And so when a person deals with certain subjects to a very extreme degree, this is extreme by North American standard, but not by mine, then there tends to be very little interest.
Do you think that also is part of why we don't face death and destruction very well? I don't know if that's just an American thing, but it seems like we're always trying to pretend we're not going to die.
That's a very good point. I can definitely say that subject is so unpopular here. It's a subject of great terror. And of course, it is a subject of great terror anywhere you go. I think that even in this country, you have the soldiers. If I think about the World War, the soldiers that were massively deformed facially in Europe, whether it be France, whether it be England, whether it be Germany, and how they were treated, which was to be operated on to go back to the front, to the back lines or the front lines, not to be operated out to be going back into society, but to go back on the lines to fight. That's why they were healed. They were repaired as one might repair, for example, in a very cursory manner, sort of thing. As we look at that, then we can jump very easily and look at the situation with Vietnam vets who were treated like garbage. And then we can jump easily to the old nursing homes who were treated like they were treated as invalids in the sense of the word invalid, as used as like this, invalid to society, disposable. Therefore, Homo could very easily say that persons who were on the better side of COVID could very easily go into the nursing homes of people who no longer had immune systems, but had paid for years and years to be safe, in a safe environment. These groups of people are all considered to be disposable. They feel their usefulness, and now they're not useful. It doesn't matter how much they've paid to be safe, the older people. It doesn't matter how many years a soldier has served. It doesn't matter, because when he comes home, he has no money. There's no provisions for him.
Your record, Broken Gargoyles, deals pretty specifically with the story of those soldiers in Europe who were disfigured facially and put back on the front lines and treated like rejects in every way, and treated horribly when they were integrated back into society as well. But there is a correlation between that and the other things you're speaking of, which is the idea that humans who don't pose a value to whatever dominant paradigm we're in, wherever we live, are considered useless or trash, as if the human spirit that lives in each of us is not part of the conversation. Hey, if you like that video, you can see the whole thing at our Patreon page. That's right, just hit the link that you're seeing on the screen right now, and it'll take you there. And you can become a patron today and help us keep launching new artists and bringing left of center art and activism to a wider audience. And can't wait to see you soon.